Hey everybody! Today's lesson is all about drawing scientific diagrams. So the goal of today's lesson is to be able to draw a labelled scientific diagram with a scale bar. And this lesson is going to be broken up into 3 parts. The first part is the basics of drawing scientific diagrams. The second part is how we measure cell size so we can make our scale bar. And then lastly, we're going to put it all together and I'm going to show you how to draw a scaled diagram. So let's get started. Alrighty, so first things first, let's go through the basics of drawing scientific diagrams. Now, there's a bunch of criteria that need to be met to draw a proper and accurate scientific diagram, and I've got those on the screen here. Now, to teach you these criteria, we're going to be drawing the picture that you can see on the bottom left as a scientific diagram. So, the first thing that we need to do is write our title. So we need to know what we're drawing. So as you look in this picture, what we've got is a bunch of human cheek cells. So let's write that as our title so we know what our drawing is. All right, the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we're doing our diagram in pencil, which we are. So that's great. All right, next thing is we need to make sure that our diagram is large. So that means we're taking up the space that we've been given. We also need to make sure our diagram is proportionate. So that means if we've got different things in the picture that they're in proportion. We also need to make sure we've got the magnification. And so in this case, it should be 400 times magnification. We also want to make sure our diagrams are 2D. We want to make sure there's no shading, as you can see as I'm drawing now. Now also, we need to label what we can see. So we need to label everything. So firstly, we've got the cell membrane on the outside of the cell. You'll notice that the lines that I'm drawing are nice and straight. You should be using a ruler to draw those lines to ensure that. You need to make sure that your lines have no arrowheads. So they're just lines. There's no arrows at the end. And you need to make sure that your lines don't cross over. And that is how you draw an accurate scientific diagram. Now, the next thing we need to understand before we can draw scientific diagrams is measuring cell size. Now, this is important because cells are really small. So we need units of measurement that are small enough to measure these cells. Now, units of measurement that you're probably familiar with are things like meters, centimeters, and millimeters. But these units are too large for measuring cell size. So we need units that are smaller. Units such as micrometers and nanometers. Now, when we write these units, we have shorthands. So meters, the shorthand is M. For centimeters, the shorthand is cm. For millimeters, it's mm. Now, micrometers uses a Greek letter, which is mu, so mu-m, and then nanometers is nm. Now, I'm just putting this here so you guys can keep in mind that we're going to be moving from smallest on the left to largest on the right. So let's do our units from smallest to largest. So our smallest unit is nanometers, then micrometers, then millimeters, and then meters. Now I'm going to show you guys how to convert from one unit into another. So for example, how to go from meters to micrometers and so on. So in a meter, there are 1,000 millimeters. So to go from meters to millimeters, what we need to do is we need to times our number by 1,000. Now in a millimeter, there are 1,000 micrometers. So to go from millimeters to micrometers, we times by 1,000. And in a micrometer, there are 1,000 nanometers. So to go from micrometers to nanometers, you need to times by 1,000. To go in the opposite direction, so to go from smaller to larger, we need to do the opposite of times. So we need to divide. So to go from nanometers to micrometers, we divide by 1,000. To go from micrometers to millimeters, we divide by 1,000. And to go from millimeters to meters, we divide by 1,000. And that's how we convert between units. This chart is going to be really helpful as we're converting units. So I'm just going to leave that in the corner there. So what we're going to do now is a few practice questions together to make sure you guys know how to convert between units. So we're converting 10 centimeters into micrometers. So firstly, we got to convert centimeters into millimeters. So in 1 centimeter, there's 10 millimeters. So in 10 centimeters, there's 100 millimeters. Now to convert from millimeters to micrometers, we need to times by 1,000. So we do 100 times 1,000, which means we get 100,000 micrometers. Now if we have a look at a ruler, so that's 10 centimeters, and in 10 centimeters, there's 100,000 micrometers. So that gives you an idea of how small micrometers are. Let's do another example. So we're converting 3 millimeters to micrometers. All right, so we're starting off with 3 millimeters and we're going to micrometers. So that means we're going to times by 1,000. So 3 millimeters times 1,000 gives us 3,000 micrometers. So if I grab out my ruler again and we find 3 millimeters, in that 3 millimeters, there are 3,000 micrometers. So again, you get an idea of how small micrometers are. All right, let's practice converting to another unit. So this time we're going to convert our measurements into nanometers. So let's do that same example. So 3 millimeters. So we've already converted it into micrometers. And now we need to convert it from micrometers into nanometers. So what we need to do is times by another 1,000. So we do 3,000 micrometers times 1,000. And that's going to give us 3 million nanometers. So in 3 millimeters, we have 3 million nanometers. So nanometers are very, very small. We've got one more example we're going to do, and this time we're going from a smaller number to a bigger number. So we're trying to take 73 micrometers and convert it into millimeters. So we have micrometers to millimeters, we need to divide by 1,000. So if we do 73 divided by 1,000, we're going to get 0.073 millimeters. All right, so we divide by 1,000. All right, and one last example, 307 nanometers. Let's convert that into millimeters. So to go from nanometers to millimeters, we firstly need to convert it into micrometers. So to go from nanometers to micrometers, we divide by 1,000, so we get 0.307. Now to go from micrometers to millimeters, we need to divide by 1,000 again. And so we're going to get 0.000307, and I ran out of room to put it in there. Why is it important that we know about micrometers and nanometers and how to convert between these units? Well, when we're talking about the size of cells, we're talking micrometers. All right, cells are usually, depending on the cell, around 1 micrometer to up to 100 micrometers. So that's why it's important that we know these sizes. And it helps us to draw our scale diagrams, which is what we're going to be doing next. So what is a scale diagram? Well, it's a scientific diagram that includes a scale bar. Now, this scale bar gives us an idea of the actual size of the object or the thing or the organism that we're looking at in our diagram. Now, there's a few things that we need to help us draw scale diagrams. So firstly, we need to use this formula, and that'll be helpful later. And then we have 5 simple steps that we need to follow. So firstly, we need to determine the actual size of the specimen. 2, we need to choose a size that you will use to draw your diagram, if not given to you. The third step, you need to draw and label your image with any important structures you can see. 4, determine the scale bar using the formula, and then draw the scale bar onto your diagram. Let's practice using those steps. So let's do the question: a sperm cell, 7 micrometers, draw a scaled diagram. So first thing, we're drawing a sperm cell, so let's write the heading sperm cell. Now, when we're doing diagrams, you'll need to have these things handy: a ruler, a pencil, and a rubber. All right, let's follow the steps. So firstly, we need to work out the actual size. Now, this is often given to you in the question. So here it says a sperm cell is 7 micrometers. So the actual size of the sperm cell is 7 micrometers. So let's write that down. All right, now we need to choose a size that we're going to use to draw the diagram. Now, in this case, it hasn't been specified. We haven't been told what size to do. So we can choose the size we want. Now, what I recommend, because we're going to be dividing actual size by the size of the drawing, we want to choose a number that will divide well by the actual size and usually give us a whole number. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your drawing size. So what I'm going to do, because we got 7, the size of drawing I'm going to choose, which will divide well, is 7 centimeters. Let's now skip to step 4. And we're going to determine the scale bar using our formula. So this is where our formula comes in handy. So the actual size of specimen divided by the size of drawing. So our actual size is 7 and the size of the drawing that we've chosen is 7 centimeters. So 7 divided by 7 is 1 micrometer over 1 centimeter. We just simplify it. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, the number on the bottom, so 1 centimeter, that tells you the size of the scale bar that you're going to draw in your picture. So it should be 1 centimeter. The top value gives you what the scale bar represents. So 1 centimeter on the scale bar represents 1 micrometer. Let's go back to step 3 now. So we're going to draw and label our image. So just a reminder, that's what our sperm cell looks like if you forgot. Now we've said the size of our drawing is 7 centimeters. So here's where your ruler comes handy. You'll measure 7 centimeters out. Now that's the length of our sperm cell. Now what you need to do is you need to draw it. All right, once you've drawn it, make sure you have a heading on top as well. Now, this is where we draw our scale bar in. So we know our scale bar is 1 centimeter long from our formula, and we know that that 1 centimeter represents 1 micrometer. So underneath our scale bar that we've drawn, we'll write 1 micrometer. That means that 1 centimeter of our picture represents 1 micrometer. Alrighty, that's our first diagram done. Let's do 2 more practice questions to help you guys out. The skin cell has a diameter of 32 micrometers, a nucleus with a diameter of 6 micrometers. Draw a scale diagram. And that's what a skin cell looks like, by the way, if you didn't know. Alright, let's work through our steps again. So firstly, we need to work out the actual size of our specimen. So we read the question. Our actual size is 32 micrometers. So let's get that down. Now what we need to do is we need to choose a size that we're going to draw our diagram, if not specified. Now in the question, it's not specified. So we get to choose. And remember, we want to choose a number that divides well. So I'm going to do 8 centimeters. All right, let's skip down to step 4. We're going to determine our scale bar using our formula. So the scale equals the actual size divided by the drawing size. So our actual size is 32 micrometers and our drawing size is 8 centimeters. Now when we simplify that, so 32 divided by 8, we get 4 micrometers divided by or over 1 centimeter. Remember, the number at the bottom is important because it tells us the size of the scale bar. The number on top tells us what that represents. Okay, let's draw our image. So firstly, remember we're drawing a skin cell. So let's write a heading. Now what we need to do is we've said our actual size of the drawing is 8 centimeters. So we need to get our ruler and we need to make the diameter both ways. So going across and going up and down 8 centimeters. So I'm currently doing that even though you can't see because, yeah, I'm not very good at this. Okay, so now we've drawn the diameter of our cell, but we've also been told to draw the nucleus and given the actual size. Now, we want our nucleus to be proportionate to the rest of our cell. So we need to divide the diameter by the scale used for the actual cell. So we're going to do 6 divided by the scale, which is 4. When we divide that, we get 1.5. And that tells us the size in centimeters of the diameter of the nucleus that we're going to draw. So we need to get our ruler out again, measure out 1.5 going across, 1.5 going up and down, and then draw it out. We need to make sure that we also label any important features. So we know in the outside cell membrane, we've got the cytoplasm, and we've got the nucleus. All right, now lastly, we need to draw a scale bar onto our diagram. So remember, we know it's 1 centimeter long because that's our number at the bottom. So we draw 1 centimeter, and that 1 centimeter is going to represent 4 micrometers. So we write that underneath. And that's our second scale diagram done. Alrighty, let's do one more. So lastly, we got a red blood cell is 9 micrometers. Draw a scale diagram with a diameter of 6 centimeters. So this is what our good old mate red blood cell looks like. So firstly, let's determine the actual size of the specimen. So let's look at the question, and it tells us the red blood cell is 9 micrometers. So that's the actual size. Now choose a size that you will use to draw your diagram if not specified. Now you'll notice in this question, we've been told the size that we need to draw it. So our drawing size, as said in the question, is 6 centimeters. That's the size we have to draw it because that's what we've been told to draw. All right, now let's skip to step 4. We'll determine our scale bar. So we'll do the actual size divided by the drawing size, which is 9 micrometers, divided by 6. If we simplify that, we get 1.5 micrometers over 1 centimeter. So that means our 1 centimeter scale bar represents 1.5 micrometers. All right, let's draw and label our image. So firstly, we're drawing a red blood cell. So let's write a title. Our drawing size is 6 centimeters. So we need to grab out our ruler and measure out 6 centimeters on our piece of paper to make sure that we're drawing it accurately. And then what you do is you draw it in the shape of a red blood cell. All right, now lastly, we need to draw our scale bar onto the diagram. So we know our scale bar is 1 centimeter long. So again, we get our ruler and we make sure we draw a line that is 1 centimeter in length. And that 1 centimeter represents 1.5 micrometers. So let's write that underneath our scale bar. So that's it for today. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.